Hi guys, it's Zoe from Mahogany Culture here, and today we're having a conversation with Djamal from Cult of Culture. So, Cult of Culture is a project that is currently being showcased on the Mahogany World platform. And as it's a new platform, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. So, Mahogany World highlights projects around the world that deal with the conversations that people of the Caribbean diaspora are having, or projects that kind of speak to what Mahogany culture is all about. So hope you enjoy the conversation.
Hi everyone, I'm Djamal SAKA, artist from Benin, and I'm the founder and the art director of Culte of Culture. So let's go.
Alors qu'est-ce qui se passe là? Comment il s'appelle? C'est Djamal et qui? Ok, donc là on a Djamal et Arthur et l'autre là à gauche. Ok, donc Junior?
Junior,
Ok, donc.
Djamal, Arthur, un petit mot. Allez.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez à dire là? Vos impressions sur le moment là?
Ce soir,
Ouais,
c'était mon Djamal qui était à l'honneur. Il a fait fort, hein.
ouais, je suis d'accord.
Fort. Djamal, ce qu'il fait, c'est incroyable vraiment. Il faut s'intéresser à son projet qui est à l'image du défilé de ce soir pour le coup.
C'est-à-dire?
Culte of Culture, c'est de la multiculturalité, c'est multiculturel, c'est bienveillant, c'est de l'entrepreneuriat social. Pour le coup, vraiment,
À que
je
demander
suis
plus?
proche de lui et je peux que l'applaudir là-dessus, c'est sincère.
Bravo, bravo. On aime ça, on aime ça.
Un projet à soutenir fort.
Ouais, ça marche.
So the first question, what inspired you to do a project focused on voodoo? Was it something that you've always been interested in?
Is the origin of Voodoo, and to be born and raised in this country is important for me as an artist to explain all my love and all my gratitude to this country through this project and try to show the world the beauty of my culture, of the culture of this country. And that's why I chose the Voodoo to work for my first project as an artist, and this is Culte of Culture.
So to me, it's very interesting because, as I said, like from coming from the angle or positioning of being in the Caribbean, I'm very curious if you know of the traces between Voodoo, Benin, and Haiti, and if you could speak to that, because Haiti is definitely a place that is known to have voodoo very present there as well, and as a French-speaking island off the coast of Africa, we could only imagine how much of that culture would have been transferred from that part of the world over to the Caribbean.
Well, the first slave I took from Africa to Europe, and to survive to atrocity of colonials, there are no choice to remember about their culture, to still believe that they are human. And Voodoo was also the origin of the first revolt who helped the slave of Haiti to be free. That's why this is the biggest link between Benin and Haiti. Take their rights and to be free in Haiti, and after that, believing of this culture still live in this country. That's why Haiti uh, still very connected to Benin by Vodou and by the culture.
Talk about ethnic and social stereotypes and convincing us about the existence of races. So would you be able to further explain, I guess, like what your take on race is? Do you see it as a social construct? Do you think that there are any commonalities between people that have the same skin tone? I think it's always a very interesting discussion because I personally like to say that I personally would say that race does not exist. And I would agree that I would say that it's a social construct. And I would also go further to say that the things that kind of are common between us are common because of our history and ancestry, and not necessarily because of the amount of melanin in our skin, because depending on your social environment, you can be very different to someone that looks just like you across the world. So I guess that would affect geography as well. So I'm really interested to hear like what your personal or what your views and the angle that you take for this project are.
Voodoo is the Voodoo has a particular way of thinking, and in Benin, it's important to say that everybody have the right to go on the priest of Voodoo when they had problem. Anyway, you can be black, white, yellow, or red. There are no races in the priest of Voodoo between the prayer and the priest. So that's why I took this particularly, and this is an analyzing about Voodoo, who make me think about this on this project. And what I want to say, I try to say, is this like between human being, we are no difference except the difference of culture, because anatomically is the same, and we are all have the red blood in our veins. Nobody have the green. When you are white, black, anyway, you get red blood in your veins. That's why we are all the same. And ethical and society convince us that we are different, or and that's difference that we get in our mind push us to hate and to hate another one.
So the idea that these pieces, the items that you've created are inspired by workers is very intriguing because fashion is typically focused on idolizing leisure and prestige. So is this a fundamental approach in voodoo by not having a specific narrative and not being attached to being materialistic? Um, I think it's definitely very strong. And when you talk about the idea of these items that are clearly it's for anyone. The consumer is just anybody that that wears clothes and walks on the street, and the real power then comes in like when you wear these items. There is this whole culture and these kind of values behind it, and having that contrast of that bright red logo, and everything that speaks for that kind of is that you're showing the symbol of like who you are and identity, and that identity being that we're just meant to not have identity and not meant to stereotype and just kind of come together and just exist, and it's not really about it's a very utilitarian approach as well, where when you say like it's not about being flashy and this is what I'm wearing. It's this is an item of clothing. It's obviously awesome. It's obviously something that you want when you look at it. But further to that, I'm somebody that I just have a job and I just need to walk on the street and carry my fruit or go down the road to collect something. And this is the item I'm going to wear. And when I wear this, it's just speaking to who I am as a person, not me, trying to prove anything to anybody or wear this because I'm trying to fit in. It's just my existence. And I guess I just wanted to ask you to like talk more about that, but also I don't want to say commend, but also just kind of really highlight how strong and just great that is that you've done that.
The middle class worker are people who work every day to contribute to the accomplishment of the task without having always the appreciation of the society. This collection is the salute to those and the message of hope to those in the chair and the soul feel persecuted by the system. That's why first I chose the name Sakpata VI. Like Sakpata is a divinity of the earth, and everybody has children of the earth, everybody have the same rights. For me, the future buyer, the future owner of these pieces are not only clients, but they are people who share this state of mind. Like we are all the same. Nobody have more rights than other people. So for me, the future owner of these spaces are worker of the better world, are worker, are messenger, are people who share this state of mind, and they are worker of the better world. They are worker of love.
So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Djamal, for taking part in this. And have a good day, have a good night, have a good weekend, have a good I don't want to say have a good life, that sounds too final, but you know, I mean, hashtag stay safe. I'm not trying to say that right now, but until next time, Mahogany out.